What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. Cut straight to the chase. I found this post, I think it was on the sidebar of the TRP community on Reddit. Older players, late 40s and 50s and up, tell us what you would do differently. And I'm going to read a little bit of this post and share my opinions. And also, there's a comment in this post, which in itself could probably merit its own post, which I also want to talk about. So let me just jump into it. Blah, blah, blah. Need advice from the guys who are older. This is why the red pill is so good, right? You got men talking to men, telling them what's up and what to be on the lookout for and avoid. And can you believe this is a quarantine subreddit? Reddit does not want men talking to men. Isn't that crazy? Not really when you think about it, and who's in charge of Reddit. Certain government over the seas. Anyway, it looks like the 3 agreed upon things that are accepted by almost 100% of those responding. 1, lift, 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 and get big. Never stop. Like someone said, no one gives a shit if you do an hour of cardio or if your blood pressure is good. You get respect by being big, bras. So true, guys. I live in an area where you see little skinny, noodle-armed men running around doing cardio all the time. Some of them are doing it on their own. Some of them are doing it with their girlfriends. I see this one guy out in the nature trail that I go to every morning, which sometimes you hear the birds and whatever on my other videos. He's like a Tai Chi vegan. You can basically see his rib cage. He's like super skinny. Nobody cares how far you can run. Seriously, especially, look, women typically don't want this. I'm not going to speak for all women. Women want a strong man. They want to feel your giant triceps over them. They can put their arms on them while you're slamming it into them. You know what I'm saying? And then other people just give you respect when you have a barrel chest and a nice torso and good strong legs. Like, I can't even convey how my life changed when I lifted weights and grew a beard. The way people treated me was night and day. So absolutely, do I agree with this? You get respect by being big, brah. Just make sure, look, I mean, if you're into vanity and the way you look, there is a thing as, like, if you're a fat guy, you should definitely be cutting. Don't be bulking if you're already super obese. You're gonna look bad. You'll be strong as shit, don't get me wrong, but I'm a little bit more vain. I like my abs to be able to show, so if you need to cut before you get big, by all means, do that first. Number 2, don't get married. Unfortunately, the thoughts of having a loving, feminine, sweet wife for life in the West is damn near a pipe dream. It's just not worth it. Yes, I agree, it's probably not worth it. You'll see guys go back and forth on this subreddit. I mean, 99% say don't get married. Look, I myself am not married, but in an LTR, we have a child. We live together. All intentional, by the way. We had that kid on purpose. It was not an accident. Love my son. And, yeah, we're not married. She doesn't want to get married. And to be honest, I'm a little bit torn. I don't necessarily want to be tied to the state. I mean, I know I don't want to be tied to the state legally in any way, but I am a Christian. And it is technically a sin to be fornicating without marriage, so that always is in the back of my mind. But otherwise, like, yes, I agree, it's probably not worth it, especially if you're going to be dating a chick who, or I should say, if you're looking to get married, dude, she better be able to count the amount of men she slept with on one hand. That is a fact. If you go and marry a girl who was a slut in college, you are fucked. You are so fucked. You are not special. Being guy 84 or guy 46 to some chick, she has lost the ability to pair bond and actually love you. So do not get married to a slut. And if you're going to choose a woman to get married to, she better have only 5 or less partners in her life, and you are the 5th. Seriously, even less is better. The virgin is like good, but at the same time, they're gonna have the problem of, this is the only dick I've ever been in, so, or had in me. So if like you are married to a virgin and you took her virginity, that's awesome, but like, dude, be the best man you fucking can be. Don't let her fucking start wandering and wondering what else is out there. Because if she is, you're not doing the right thing. So yeah, I would basically agree with number 2. If you're gonna get married, be incredibly selective. Also, consider the laws of the state you live in. If you're in the United States, and I have 2 friends who actually had ceremonies. You know, to everyone, it seemed like they got married, but legally they did not sign a marriage certificate. And in certain states, that is considered not marriage, so no divorce. In other states, lawyers could use that as a signal of marriage, and you could be fucked. So, yeah. Anyway, number 3, make money. It's good for you, and it's good for your dick. I guess about the dick part, I'm not exactly drawing the exact meaning of that, unless it's like some kind of sarcasm or a joke, and in the way that he means like women will be attracted to you, so your dick will thank you, maybe. But yes, absolutely, guys, be focused on your money. I've done a number of videos on finance in my channel. I did an intro one about different things you can invest in. What did I do more recently? God, I'm drawing a blank. Oh, temporary minimalism. Or not so temporary minimalism to build up your wealth. You know, not buying a second car or even a car at all if you don't really need one. That kind of stuff. Not having tons of expensive furniture, all new designer clothes all the time. That kind of stuff. And I say that only if you're planning on saving the money. There are hipster minimalists out in places like San Francisco where they're minimalist, but that's so they can use the money on buying drinks at a bar or restaurants and other ways to waste their money. So yeah, be very good with money. Check my channel for some tips. We're going to do a video on deflation next. I've talked about inflation quite a bit, but something that could be very, very serious and could come up soon is actual deflation, so we're going to talk about that. Next thing. I have one I would like to add for the 18-22 crowd. Stay away from student loans. Stay as far away from them as possible. Absolutely, guys. And it actually ties in a little bit to what he says down in this 3rd paragraph. Go to a community college for the first 2 years of your degree. It'll be half or less the price. Let me tell you, it'll be maybe 10% of the price, maybe 5% of the price. I mean, seriously, I lived in a lavish county. And the county community college, to go to college for a year with the textbooks, was maybe $1,000 for the whole year, as opposed to a $60,000 year at other colleges, or like a $20,000 year at certain colleges. Like, some are so ridiculous, especially today, guys. Some of you might be graduating seniors, and you thought you were gonna go and party it up in the dorms next fall, but you're not. That shit's over. That is completely over, and it's all because of the you-know-what, and I'm super curious to find out if these colleges are still going to charge you an arm and a leg to do online schooling, because if you're just getting an online experience, you might as well go to University of Phoenix and get the tech support that comes with it. It's going to be real interesting. Yeah, but unfortunately, because of this situation, your lifetime dream of banging hundreds of sluts in the dorm is basically over, which sucks for some of you. But go to community college, guys. You listen to this guy, bust your ass and get a 4.0. I talked about this in that long Confessions of a Stoner video I did. But you basically have no reason to go to a 4-year school. You can go to the community college and maybe spend $2,500 tops. You go there for 2 years, and then you transfer into that 4-year school. Maybe in 2 years, college will be a fun experience again. But I don't know, you know? You're basically paying, especially if your parents are not shelling out the money for you, which most of your parents will not. So you're going to straddle $50,000 of debt, possibly, to have the dorm experience. Think about that for a second. Think about how bad that is. Think about how stupid that is. Best case scenario, you bang a bunch of sluts. And that's it. Worst case scenario, you get herpes or gonorrhea. You go into $50,000 worth of debt. You do something ridiculously dumb and get yourself some kind of an accusation, if you know what I'm saying. there's really only, there's just no reason to do it. I don't care if you're a 4.0 student, unless you've got a free ride to a really good school and a really good program like a pre-med. But if you're a moderate or average high school student, you're accepted into a 4-year university for a liberal arts degree, dude, tell them no. Just back out of whatever you commitment you had with them and go to a community college in your area. Save a ton of money and live at home. Yeah, I know, but like, don't pay rent. Save that money. I have friends who are still in debt in their 30s. I have a friend who's over $300,000 in debt because he wanted to do a PhD. I love that guy, by the way, but it isn't worth it. Okay. Yeah, applying for scholarships, absolutely. Financial aid through FAFSA. Yep. I like what he's saying about going to get schooling for free. Just like marriage, student loans can be something that kills your future. Don't be an idiot. Yes, and start paying the principal down. Absolutely. Like, if you're in debt, guys, I know you might have heard some of my previous videos about investing, but the best investment you can make is paying off all your debt. I know it's not fun and glamorous as buying Bitcoin or buying stocks and watching them go up and down all day, but paying off your debt is the best investment. Trust me. Before you do any kind of investing, you need to be debt-free, 100%. I want to scroll down a little bit here. I think it was this. Yeah, it was this guy, Macho Ninja, 5 years ago. I was good with money, however, I would have liked to have done a bit better. Purchased my house at 22, still live in it. It was paid off in around 16 years, so he was just a little under 40 before he paid that off. Not bad. He'll always have that house. Stay away from women, beer, and cars. By this, I don't mean jump into relationships. You will be shocked how much your views change by 35. Okay, this is the real part I wanted to highlight, guys. Do you know that when I was 18, I was totally liberal? Lefty, liberal-leaning, all of that shit. Now I am a hardcore Trump supporter. Most of you guys know this. I am pretty much on the right wing. I know Trump isn't perfect, but he's getting my vote, and I'm never voting Democrat again. But, dude, I gotta be honest, like, I don't know. Like, when I was 30, when I met my girlfriend, like, I had different political views, and she hasn't come to the right with me, if you hear what I'm saying. And now we're a family where one parent is liberal and the other is leaning pretty hard to the right. So take my advice, guys. You don't need to be married in your 20s. By the time you're 35, if you follow all this advice, you're going to have such an empire of finance and power, and you'll know who you are by the age of 35 from a political standpoint and what type of woman you want. And by the time you're 35, you will have such a good selection of young girls to go after. If you want an LTR, or if you just want to spin plates, you don't need to date women in their 30s, and you don't need to lock yourself down before you find out who you are in terms of politics. That is something that I did. So don't be like me in that regard. I really wanted to highlight this. I almost wonder if this could merit its own video, but let's not for now. Anyway, there's nothing wrong with having a drink or two, but bars and clubs are cash toilets, and you will gain nothing later in life by drinking yourself retarded in your 20s. Buy a car with a great long-term rating and drive it for a minimum of 10 years. Absolutely, guys. I used to waste money at the bars, too. It is a total cash toilet, especially if you're not making good money. Have fun looking at your shitty bank account and realizing that you pissed it away on alcohol. And yeah, it just so happens that I bought a Honda Accord in 2011. I just got rid of it. It was almost with me for 10 years, almost 9 years. But you want a car with a great long-term rating, you get a Japanese car. Forget about German cars, forget about American cars. Seriously, Japanese cars are built to last. And I mean, just get like an Accord or a Celica or a Camry or a Civic, a basic model. That's all you need, guys. 10 years, probably even longer. That thing will you probably run it into the ground if you want, and you'll save so much money. This guy says he wished he stayed in better shape. As he got old, the better shape he was in, the better he handled life. When you feel good, you do good. Yeah, I mean, definitely get ahead of it, guys. I'm all about fitness, and you guys should be too. There's no excuse to be lazy. Stay away from people that cannot take take care of their own life. I mean, my video yesterday was literally about crab bucket mentality, but that's not exactly what he's saying here. Although I did say you might have to turn your back on a friend. If they're dragging you down, you need to get out. There you go. That's it. Crab bucket mentality right there. See? Look out for number one. Don't let other friends bring you down, whether they tell you or they just do it by their actions. That is a big, big thing. I like this one. He learned about lending tools. And if someone didn't return a tool, cut them out of your life altogether. Same with money. Gift it and call it a day. This is a really good lesson. Don't lend money. If you have some spare cash, just gift it and call it a day. If you have chosen your friends well, giving a buddy in need a few notes will result in a buddy that shows up at 6 a.m. 3 years later to help you build a deck, or at 2 a.m. with a wrench to help fix a broken water heater. That's a good one. I've definitely lent out money, and thinking that it would get paid back, and it never does. So, he says, read more, it helps your vocabulary. My goodness, guys, read a fucking book. I will be doing a video on this. You'd be amazed at how many books have such good info. It's not just shitty novels, guys. Some of the best businessmen and fitness advice and everything is in a book. And most guys don't have the attention span to read a book. So many of my friends refuse. I literally buy them books and gift them to them on Kindle. I'm like, dude, this book will change your life. Read it, read it, read it. They can't even be bothered to crack it open, yet alone read 5 pages and tell me they're not interested. So read a damn book. Here we go again. Learn to cook. My weakness was in my 20s and 30s of eating out. The cash I dropped on meals. Yes. Oh my goodness. Yeah. I didn't really start cooking until I was probably like 29, 30, but absolutely. You go to the grocery store, you eat a few pounds of meat every day. It's like the best diet you can ever do. That should be your staple. You should eat 2 to 3 pounds of meat a day, if not more, and then if you've got room in your belly for some goodies, go ahead, but that should be the main thing you eat. Stay out of the snatch trap. Young women will use sex to get you to do things you normally wouldn't. Don't let a broad dictate your life. Women will also use emotion as a tool to build a relationship. Treat dating like a chess match. Stay 2 to 3 moves ahead and remember that you're dealing with a completely different animal. Absolutely. I think about the last 2 major LTRs I had, when I wasn't spinning plates. Before the red pill was the first LTR, and then after the red pill was the second LTR. My God, the first LTR, the big one that I had, the level of emotion this woman would use on me. And at the time, I didn't realize what she was doing, and I'd fall right into it, and I would always lose frame. She was totally playing me. I don't even know if she realized she was doing it. Women don't realize what they do. Let's see, what else? At 42, I have known at least 24 men that got caught up in the relationship game on a Tuesday night and woke up 10 years later in hell. Do not sacrifice your mental well-being for a taste of the fair sex. Yeah, just be super selective. We all know that married guy who is basically on a leash. His wife pulls him around metaphorically, and he has no power. He's not allowed to have any kind of opinion. Yeah. Oof. Thankfully, it's not like that here. Everyone, both my family and her family, know who the boss of this house is, and it feels awesome. I don't want to be loved. I want to be respected, and that's how it is here, and it is so awesome. Last but certainly not least, do not under any circumstance ever answer a question like this after 6 fingers of bourbon. I guess he was drunk when he wrote this out. This was a really good comment to the original post here. This is found on the sidebar, if I'm not mistaken. You go to the red pill, you go down here, and I think it's, what is it? I found it on the sidebar, so I don't know where it went. I'm literally looking for it, guys. I don't know. How did I find this? Was it not on the sidebar? Well, shit. Let's see. Older. Type in older. Fuck. I don't know how I stumbled upon this post then. Never mind. I thought it was on the sidebar. Maybe it's not. But yeah. Yeah. I guess, whatever. I'll link the post in my video here. Y'all have a good day.